Everyone, I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. With that, it's time for the AFC Championship. And to call the action, as they have all year, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 52? We'll know shortly as we are underway in the AFC title game. Set to return, this is Brandon Cooks. And look at this, right away a loose football. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. The man under center leading them now 40 years of age in his 18th year out of Michigan, the great Tom Brady.
And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
Brady now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Lewis. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
It's a big play there for the Patriots. 44 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
Well, we all know that Rob Gronkowski is one of the premier tight ends in the NFL, but what makes him that way is the size. We see that. The ability to run. He's faster than a lot of wide receivers. The agility. He's almost like a power forward in basketball. And the competitiveness. When that ball is released, he decides it's his and no one else's.
Brady gives this one to Lewis. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Let's really illuminate linebacker Ryan Shazier. Has the speed of a safety. In fact, coming out of college, some people clocked him at sub 4.4 in the 40, but also the ability to go up and down the line of scrimmage and thump just like the linebacker he is.
And his 4th year in the league now, coming off his first Pro Bowl. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that's complete to Lewis. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, 5, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And on a stage of this magnitude, the conference championship, so many early game jitters can happen, so that score is a big relief to a coach.
Yeah, no one wants to mention that in the locker room before the game. No one says, hey, listen, don't fumble or don't do this because you don't want negative thoughts. That's why getting off to a good start is so huge for everyone. The first score in the conference title game, massive.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
They go play action here on first down. Going underneath for Lewis. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Second down and 4. They run. This is Lewis. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
How many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
A lot. This is Bell. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Antonio Brown just defies convention because when you look at his build, you see a slot receiver, a short, shifty guy, but he makes many of his plays on the outside part of the field like one of the taller, rangier receivers in the league. Excellent route runner, tremendous hands, and fantastic with the ball in his hands after the catch. Antonio Brown's one of the best ones out there.
Play clock winding down. On second down, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. To throw here, Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. Bell a first down and then some. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 55 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start, a second straight week.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Again, it's Lewis. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, fire it away, lad, fire it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. These say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad, yeah.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Waiting to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Play action. Now it's Brady. Got a man. It's Amendola. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Brandon Cooks, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are back within a score.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And that one makes it 14-7. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So we played a quarter here in the AFC Championship game. And it's the Steelers with the early lead. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that would...
Is this intercepted? It is! It's intercepted. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh.
God, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go.
On second down, it's Bell. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Here's Roethlisberger, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the... And this is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rogers, 44 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. This is Lewis. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. Dumps it off to Lewis. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Now Brady throwing on second down. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Javon Hargrave able to swap it from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive line.
And he's going to go down again. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here's Ryan Allen now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Again, it's Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Go, 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 go! Like 80! You got tight. You got tight right there. No. Corner. Hey, check.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Wide open, Gronkowski. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Gronkowski, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now Brady again. And it's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski in the final seconds of the first half. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Steelers have controlled the flow, but it hasn't given them a big advantage. The Patriots won't care how much their offense is on the field as long as they find a way to advance in these playoffs. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. Patriots taking the field for their opening drive. On the run, the ball comes loose. Steelers end up picking up the ball and scoring as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Steelers with the football midway through the first. Bell's going to run off the left side, and he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10, Cook's going to haul in the pass near the sideline. And he caps off the 7-play drive with a score. They have it at the 44-yard line. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Sensaball's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Now following the pick, Roethlisberger's got his man deep downfield, and he caps off the 6-play drive with a score. As they go out in front, 14-7. Set up now 3rd and 7. The quick pass and completion is made, and he caps off the 6-play drive with a score. Trailing now by just a touchdown. So that's going to do it for us. We'll send you back now to field level for some more playoff football.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
All right, now. 80. Hurry up, Jack 16.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On second down, here's Brady. Allen's got it over the middle. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Brady now on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Now Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 33. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Throughout his career, Tom Brady has made a living with the quick pass, hasn't he? How about that one? A little slant inside, and I think his arm's gotten stronger throughout his career, too.
Yeah. You can just see one of many examples of why he's made more trips to the Super Bowl than any other quarterback.
Footwork, intelligence,
and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now Lewis. He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short game. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Watch 8-9, watch 8-9, he's short. Hold this. Set! Lock 80!
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There is none there for him.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, big hit at the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
It's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate.
He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
The play clock's running down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets it build up a little cushion.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Sets up the screen to Lewis. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Brady connecting with Cooks for the Patriot first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Brady. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They try again with Lewis. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, 1st and goal. Now White. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And here now it's 2nd and goal, ball on the 7-yard line. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Here's Brady to throw. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Patriots are back within a score. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also, a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll go again with Bell. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The Steelers on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. And on the outside they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.